Okay, so I'm gonna break these up into 5-minute segments. Otherwise, it takes too long to upload them. So the first thing I want to explain is that water is always flat, whether it's a swimming pool or a bay or a lake or the ocean. Water is always flat. There's never any curve to water except in a droplet, if there's a little droplet. And of course, water is not. It's got waves and ripples depending on the wind and things like that. But water is always flat. I first proved this when I got into this. In Lima, Peru, there's a bay, and it's 11 miles across from one end to the other. And I went to one end, and there's this building that's 8 stories tall, that's 80 feet. I went to the other end with eyes, and I could take pictures with my camera, which is on my channel here, of the same building 11 miles away, and you could see from the top to the bottom. And then I bought one of these, I bought a Nikon P900, which is a super zoom camera. And I went to Lake Titicaca up in the high mountains of Peru. And there I took pictures and videos from 20 and 30 miles across. And you could see the shore 20, 30 miles across. You could see right across to the other side. So what does this prove, Tammy? Water is always flat. It never curves. The ocean, you can see 20, 30, 40, 50 miles. Now there's, with infrared photography, now there's like records where you can see, the record as far as I see right now is 1,200 miles. There's a guy that took a picture recently of a video from Texas to Baja California. It was 700 and something miles. He's got one from, I think from Indiana up to Lake, up in Canada, 1,200 miles. And they're all over the world. There's this salt flat in Bolivia, 100 and something miles. From here in the jungle, in the Amazon jungle, I can see to the mountains of Puno, 150 miles. So water is always flat. So when you're researching this, you always have to come back to that. Long distances over water, or long distances on the shore. In Myrtle Beach, the beach is 60 miles continuous. It's easy to measure this. That is what you always have to remember. That's what you always have to come back to. Once you realize that, then everything else falls into place. All the other evidences, all the other proofs, all come back to, they all fit into place. But first you have to get that, realize that no matter what you think you see with your eyes, if you're looking through a curved lens window in an airplane or whatever, is that water is always flat. And that means that there is no curve to the earth. That means the earth is not a spinning ball in a vacuum of space. That means that the biblical account is true, that there's a firmament. The Bible says there's a firmament over our heads. Separates the waters from above the firmament from the waters below the firmament. So what I'm saying is that the earth is not a spinning ball in space, hurling through space, an infinite space with no end in a vacuum, that there's no barrier between the air that we're breathing here and this vacuum in space. That's all baloney. And all the pictures that you see, that we've seen since we were kids, babies, of the earth, they're all fake. They're all cartoons, CGI. In the beginning, they were photos. I mean, they were paintings. And then, like that one earth photo that, we've seen since we were kids, that was taken in 1972, but it's not really a photo. It's a painting. And then after years, I can look it up, they started coming out with computer-generated images, but they're all fake. You can look and see that they have like copied and pasted the clouds, and they have different colors and different sizes for the continent. Sometimes North America is small, then it's bigger in another CGI image. So the pictures are all fake. The ISS is all fakery. The satellites, we don't know exactly what they are. Some of them are balloons with, up there. But all this stuff is fake. It's all to deceive us into believing in outer space and evolution and aliens, which are just demons. And so that's what I want to tell you, Tammy. I know you're going to look into it now that I've just given you a few little tidbits, and you can ask me questions. I've looked into this for 2 years, so there's not too much I haven't heard of or looked into. So the earth is flat, Tammy. It's not a spinning ball in space. It's covered by a dome, a firmament. The Bible calls it a firmament or a dome. And there's waters above and waters below, and God's throne is above the firmament. And that's the reality of our world. Everything is that they tell us has been a lie.